sir. I have an update on the pine straw incident.
It was the talk of the town yesterday, I might add.
It was. A lot of people talked to me about
Soon to be a major motion picture. Well, or a local television news segment.
The local news has contacted me.
Oh, well, that's no shock.
Wheels are in motion.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked either.
No, and I absolutely will do an interview and whatnot.
I can't wait for them. I can't wait to see how the story starts. This normally happens to the elderly, but one local man.
This man. And I look, what? This guy? Is that?
They say it can happen to any of us, and this guy's proof.
They prey on the weak-minded and simple.
Right. Was your grandfather taken in? No. It was me.
Where are you going to do it? You have to do it in front of the pine straw.
I know.
You kind of have to, but you don't want to give away your home's location.
No, I don't.
Just bush and straw.
Yeah, that's all I
You
want.
got a bush?
I got a bush.
Maybe you could do it in the salon overlooking some pine straw.
That's what we'll have to do.
Yeah, inside, outside?
Yep. I want pure pine straw. That's what I want it to show.
They could make this a longer piece and have you and the reporter walking through this pine straw.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're right. I mean, they may do that.
Are they going to interview wife? Because I think she's a key player in this.
She doesn't know anything about it.
Could she just turn her head and put her hand up over the camera lens?
Perhaps it's best that the wife is away.
Oh, I think it's definitely best that the wife's away right now. She's off on a girls' trip.
That's best for you. I think all that part of your life timed out perfectly.
It did.
Did she?
It did.
Put back some drinks last night. Do you know?
She didn't call.
I was going to ask if you'd heard from her, if she just
The wife.
let the day go.
We spoke a couple of times on.
Was
the
it
phone.
icy, or was it just clipped?
It was icy, but I think she's coming around now to say, well,
This
we
is
have
the-
to.
this
let's
is the
move
Lummox
on.
I'm
Yeah, let's
married.
move on. Yeah, this is it. Right.
It's the old Hall & Oates. It's gone.
Let me tell you. There's a big update here.
Let's hear it.
Okay, now yesterday, if you don't know this story, these guys came and said, hey, we got some pine straw left over. We just did your neighbor's house. We're going to pull every weed. We're going to charge you, what I thought was going to be around $1,100, which is pricey to me for pine straw. But I thought, okay, if they're going to pull the weeds, all the labor included, I'll take it, $1,100. Well, they told me $7,157 at the end. They said, okay, it's going to be $7,000. I talked them down to $4,500, okay, which made me feel good because it was 40. But then, I tell my wife it's $4,500 and
Cash.
Cash. That's right. Has to be cash. And the guy says, well, and I said, I don't have it. And he goes, well, the bank closes in 10 minutes. You better get there. I mean, you got some cojones to do something like that. So what do? Oh my God.
Give me the keys.
I go to the bank. I gotta go.
Gotta go to the bank.
So I go to the bank, get there late by 3 minutes, bang on the door. Please. Can't get it. I get $2,500 out of the ATM. That's the max I can get. Oh my God. Punch in the gut. A punch in the gut. So I gave him that in cash and then wrote him a check for the rest. Now, yesterday, the debate was, do I cancel a check before the bank opens?
Oh, yes.
That was a lot of people called. Cancel the check, don't cancel the check. Everyone said, cancel that check. Cancel that check. They're scam artists. Cancel the check. So we did. My wife electronically canceled the check.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone said, almost everyone agreed, you won't hear from them again. They'll be happy with the money they got. They don't want to push it any further. That's it. Well, 5 minutes after this show ended, there's a wireless call that's, a number I don't recognize on the phone. Well, that number came up and another number came up. One was Columbus, Georgia, and one was somewhere in South Carolina. I mean, every 15 minutes, over and over and over again. I mean, all day. Kept on calling. Then about 12:30.
No message, though.
No message. About 12:30, I get a text. Can you call me? And I write back, who is this?
Good.
Okay. And they said, J&P Pine, you haven't paid us for our labor. And so the J&P Pine, they never said, and it wasn't written on anything that I saw.
But you did encounter a man named
J. Jaquantavius.
Yeah.
J for short. Okay, that's who I wrote the check to. So I go online, I look up J&P Pine. No such thing.
Of course not.
Of course, there's no such thing, obviously. I've Googled the name, Jaquantavius. Nothing. I didn't get that. So I did not respond to that text. And I thought, what to do? What am I supposed to do? So I called our attorney, Lisa Lanier, to see what should I do. And I said,
Please stop laughing. We all fall for things.
I said, did you hear this morning's broadcast? She said, God, no.
She's a busy person. She ain't got time for this.
Not a second of it did she hear. So I had to tell her the story, and she kept saying, "You didn't, you didn't."
Please stop laughing.
That's when she told me, if anybody comes to my house unsolicited, I go to the door and I say, "You get the F off my property." That's literally what she said to me.
And she's generally strapped.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, she's carrying.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She backs down from nothing.
That's exactly right. I love her style. She just like, this is a common thing, and you got sucked in and this and that. And I said, well, they've contacted me all day. Should I respond to that text? And she goes, nah. I'll give me the numbers. I'm going to look them up, and I'll call them for you and say, this is your attorney, and we're getting a restraining order, and don't come within 100 yards of his property, that kind of thing. I said, okay, great. That made me feel better.
Good. That's a good step.
Made me feel better about it. Especially since, and they kept calling. While I was on the phone with her, they called, always, constantly.
And the bank didn't seem to have much problem canceling the check, or was
None
it?
at all.
Okay.
No problem canceling the check. And then I called their fraud department to say, should I close my account? Because that's such a pain in the butt to do. And they said, we can't tell you what to do. And we closed the account. I think we had to. I mean, it's just brutal. Just brutal. But it's like we have to do this kind of thing. So I said, what if they show up? What to do? That she goes, they're not going to show up.
The attorney, not the bank.
The attorney told me this. Lisa said, they're not going to show up. Don't worry about it. I said, okay. So I sit there. I'm pickling at 6:15. I sit there. I'm watching Friends, whatever. Now I'm jumping. I'm nervous. I'm keep looking over my shoulders.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
About 4:45, they show up. Okay, they roll. They're in front of my house.
A work truck.
The same truck, and I see them start traipsing across the yard. I text Lisa, they're here. They're here.
What her to do?
She says, I said, advice. She goes, don't answer the door. I said, okay. So I go back to the bedroom and hide. I put my football helmet on. We're out in the closet. What a man.
Where's your son?
Gone.
Thankfully.
He's not there. Nobody there but me and the dog.
Okay.
Dog starts barking. I was like, oh, God.
Perfect.
Dog was barking, and I was like, oh, my God. I look over my shoulder. There they are. So I get down,
Crawl on your belly.
crawl on my belly.
Infantry style.
Yeah. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Knock, 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 knock. And then he's texting. He's like, "We want our money. We want our. You haven't paid us for our labor." And I say to Lisa, they are at the door. She goes, "Don't answer the door." She goes, "Can you go somewhere and get pictures of them or their vehicle for their license tag?" And I said, "Not without being seen." And she said, "All right, stay where you are." And she goes, "I've just called police. They're on their way." Okay, so the police are on their way. And
I called police. They're on their way.
I had my football helmet on.
Yeah.
I was like in the closet in the dark. You know?
Pull your knees up to your chest,
Right.
just rocking.
Yeah, exactly. I am so frightened now. This is what kind of man I am. Here I am.
The night John Quavius came back.
Hello, sir. It's me,
Yeah.
Dark Barbara Quavius. You wrote me a check.
Okay. So she goes, wait till cops get there. Hopefully they'll be there at the same time. And you can then go out and the cops will scare them off. They'll do this for you. I said, okay. So time passes.
They're still there.
They're still there. Okay. Then I hear no more noise or anything. I go over to the window and I peep out. I take the blinds out. Peep out. There's no truck there.
No truck.
They've gone. They've left. 2 minutes later, cops show up. Okay. Couple of police officers show up. They start walking around the property, this and that. I say to Lisa, I'm going to go out.
You're the guy from the radio.
You're not the guy that got scammed.
I heard about this yard.
It's a nice yard.
Pine needles.
Okay. So I go out and start talking to the cops, and I tell them the whole story. I tell them exactly what happened. They come in the house. They said, yeah, okay, it's a scam. Do you want...
Your wife out of town, sir? Yes. Sorry.
I keep talking, to them and everything. By the way, while I was sitting in the closet in the dark with my knees up to my chest, Diesel kept texting me about pickleball.
Where are you?
I cannot.
Relentless.
Make a run for it.
I am unavailable.
Are we going to make it or not? What's the problem? What a one-track mind. He's got one track
He didn't
mind.
know. He didn't. I am just absolutely beside myself. So the cops.
Was this the most scared you've been in a long time?
Oh yeah. They're at my door.
At your door.
Lisa was very surprised that they were at the door. The cop said, "I'm really surprised they came back." I said, "Well, I told him the whole story. So the check's going to bounce." And he kept texting me, "Your check bounced. Your check bounced." And so the cop says, do you have any kind of invoice? Do you have any kind of receipt? I said, no, nothing. I have nothing. That's the whole thing. I have nothing.
You handed them cash and they didn't give you a receipt.
That's right. Again, that's so stupid on my part. I mean, I can't even tell you. I got no receipt. I got no invoice. I got no check. I have nothing. I have a.
You didn't know the company name.
I know the company name. I just know John Quantavius. So while I'm standing there talking to the cops in the kitchen, they call me. Phone rings. Cop says, take the call. Put it on speaker. I say, okay. I say, hello. They're shocked that I answered. They're like, oh, hey, hey, Mr. Kelly, you still owe us $1,000. That check bounced, blah, blah, blah. And
Did
then,
they have the amount right?
they told $2,000.
Okay.
Yeah, they had the amount right. And so the cop says, this is Officer so-and-so with the police department. And why don't you come back here and we can settle this? And because they had just been there, 10 minutes earlier. And the guy says, no, he still owes us this money. He still owes us this amount of money. And the cop says, well, he paid you well more in cash than the job deserved. And the guy said, no, he didn't. And I was like, oh, my God. He's like, he didn't give us in cash. He said that. And I was like, I did. There's no record of that. There's absolutely
there is you at the ATM.
ATM. That's right. The amount I drew out from the ATM, and I had told them that. That's the record I have.
Did you get a receipt at the ATM?
Yes, I have that, and it shows it on my
timestamp and everything.
Yes, it is. So they say, "Come on,"
and your terrified face in the ATM camera.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If we could only get that picture.
That's the one we want.
They had me beating on the glass. So
everything has a picture of you, and you've got no pictures of them.
None. Nothing.
You're on camera all over the place.
Right. And so the cop is talking to them now, and the guy's like, who is this? And the cop says, I need your name and your company's name. And they said, no, he wrote us a check that bounced. And the cop said, I'd like your name and your company name, and I'd like you to show me an invoice for the money that he owes. And they go, no, he's supposed to pay. That's all they kept saying, double talking around. So the policeman says, okay, come back here to this address and we will work it out here with two police officers. And the guy goes, no, we got another yard to do. We're on our way to a yard right now. And the cop says, give me the address of the yard that you're going to. I will meet you at that location and we will work this out. And we will be there in the next 10 minutes. And the guy's like, oh, no, we got a yard to do. And the guy says again, give me the address of the yard where you're going, and we will meet you there. That's part of my jurisdiction. And he hung up. The guy hung up. And so the police said to me, I don't think he's going to bother you again. And he said, text him back now, which I did. I texted both numbers that I'd gotten saying, do not contact me again. Do not come on my property. That'll be considered trespassing. The cop says, if he comes back on your property, we're going to arrest them for trespassing. And, we're going to come. That's going to be a criminal issue at that point. Right now it's civil. It's going to move to criminal if they come back now, because you have a paper trail of it. You have a text to them. Do not bother me again. It's harassment. And Lisa Lanier, I called her back, and she has called them as well and basically said, we filed a restraining order. You're not to go within
J and P.
Yes. She called both numbers, that I gave her. I gave her the numbers. And she called me back and said, I talked to them, and I think they get it. And I haven't heard back from them. So I'm hopeful that that's it.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful. Now, Vin Diesel. Where are you?
Are we in a game or not?
Right.
Were you dressed in your pickle gear?
That's my pickle gear.
Bring all this.
No, so I had my mouthpiece in. I had my sweatband on.
Visor with the ball hanging in front of it.
Every bit of it.
Your special shoes.
All of that. You know how I look. And then I call my...
wearing 4 shirts. I sweat a lot.
I had my copper fit sock on.
Nice.
All of it. Then I called my wife. She burst into tears, because now they've come back. I said, look, because
they came back.
I had called my son and said, don't come home, because he was on the way home. And I said, go somewhere else. There's something happening here. And he's like, what are you talking about? So I had to play the whole thing to him while I was sitting in the closet with the football helmet on.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't come back here. And he says, please tell me what happened. Well, then he called his mother, and she called me, and she's like, what's going on? And I tell her, and she bursts into tears.
Yes.
She's like, this is awful.
What I didn't want to happen.
Of course. I mean, who would have thought that they came back?
Yeah.
Now, hopefully it's over. I go play pickleball. I come back. Now I stayed up late. It's like 9:15. I'm watching Game 6 of the 1988 World Series. Okay.
A lot of people were last night.
Not
So game one. Sorry, game one of
okay. For Vin Scully.
Game 1 of the 1988 World Series.
I'm not crazy.
I'm not gonna watch game 2. I can watch game 1.
Yeah.
Okay, that series only went 5. Where's my mind? I'm muddled. Okay, so I'm sitting there.
You think you're safe?
It's 9:30. I told my son, spend the night with your friend.
Yeah.
Wow.
I said, stay out of the house. I'm gonna be here by myself tonight. You stay. And no one's home except me, and everyone's accounted for. And he's off with his friend. About 9:30, a car pulls into the driveway. I see the lights. And you want to talk about my butthole puckering.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm ready. I put my helmet back on.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on?
Crawl on your belly to your closet.
It's my son's friend, another friend, who had gotten the word. He got his wires crossed. He thought they were all spending the night at our house. So he comes out, he knocks, and then he taps on the door like, ah! It's his friend Marshall. I said, Marshall! Get over here! Had my pickle paddle, tipped over. What's going on?
Pickle paddle and a 9-iron.
My friend Javan Quinteria said to meet him here.
So I call my son. I said, Marshall's here! And my son started laughing. He's like, oh, that is classic. I said, I've had a rough day.
Yeah.
I said, I am on edge. I haven't slept hardly at all.
2 rough days.
I mean, I have barely slept. Anytime anything in the house creaks or moves or the dog scratches or whatever, I'm just
Or barks, God forbid.
It is awful.
Yeah.
It is awful.
I mean, you could have played dumb with them too and say, "You didn't do my yard. I don't have any paperwork that says you did my yard.
That's right.
I don't have anything to show that I did your
That's
yard.
right. That's what I should have done. That's right.
So I don't know what you're talking. I don't even know who you are. Play their game.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And a lot of people suggested if your neighbors say, I don't have a doorbell cam. And they say if neighbors have, and believe me,
Chances are someone does.
Exactly. Maybe we can get a license plate number or something like that. And believe you me, we've got one coming in by Monday. I will have a camera on that. And I've changed everything about how I feel about that. I always kind of felt like, whatever. The police officer said, you need cameras. He's like, protect your home. You need to protect your home with a camera.
Littlest Patriot told us he's got 14.
14 cameras.
Like San Quentin.
It is. He can see it at all times. And I have totally changed my tune on that. I will absolutely have one of those. And then I said to the police officer, is there anything else I can do? She goes, are you comfortable firing a gun? And I said, look at me in this football helmet.
What do you think?
Repeat after me. Pine bark mulch in the future.
Ma'am, I just got scammed for pine needles. Do I look like a gun owner, let alone comfortable around
Does
a
it
gun?
look like I'm comfortable firing a gun to you? There I was. And
You want to see the pee stain in the closet where I was sitting before you got here?
See what
I wet myself.
See my underwear?
Was there any part of you when the cop is being just full on going at him, or are you panicking a little because you're like, oh my god?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I was like, are they going? But the guy was once he was talking to the cop, totally scared. You could tell. I mean, he's like, yeah, he's supposed to pay me. And
The fact he didn't hang up right then.
right. Well, it didn't take long, and he was gone. And he's like, you won't hear from them again. And he said, the cop said, many of them have police scanners, know when they're coming and leave.
Wow.
That's how they got out of
How
there.
about that?
They got out of there
To
before.
monitor it.
And the guy said he's probably around the corner. He's probably...
That would not shock me.
He said he's probably in there. He said, we'll sweep around the neighborhood a few times. And it could be that he's right around the corner. And he's obviously he's not on the way to another job. This whole thing's a scam.
Right.
They see it a lot. And, I just said to those cops, I was like, I feel like such a loser, such a patsy, such a, just so stupid. And he's like, it happens to everybody.
We're not going to laugh in your face.
I'm going to put that in your report. Stupid. What'd you say after that? Patsy?
Patsy.
We wait till we get in the cruiser to have a chuckle.
It would be unprofessional.
Yeah.
Did you tell the cops that you have an appointment with them next year, that they'll be back?
Oh, yeah.
You went ahead and penciled them
on my
in?
calendar for next year.
August again?
That's right. Sir, your dog piddled in the closet. That was
No.
That's not dog pee, sir.
No, the dog doesn't go in the house. I do.
He's trained.